now, if I ask you, what do you like more? Do you like hair or you like makeup?
Definitely makeup, because there's so much color. The bride's outfit is so glamorous. There's jewelry. There's so much fun.
Okay. So how long it's been, you started your makeup? Because I know your salon is 14 years old.
Yeah.
So how?
So I've been into the makeup industry since I think 2014. Yeah. So about 8 to 10 years.
So how do you keep updated with those trends, and how do you, incorporate those trends in your makeup?
So, I think one is every 2 years there are lots of masterclasses that happen by famous Delhi makeup artists, Bombay celebrity makeup artists. So, getting trained by them, getting trained under them, being in sync with Bollywood. Because if any Bollywood wedding happens, that's it. That's what is trending. So, all these things matter. Generally, HD means high definition. So, nowadays you get HD foundations. So, when a bride is choosing between HD makeup and airbrush makeup, it is just the base that is different. So, the eyes can be what they want, the lips can be what they want, but it is the base that is different. Yeah.
So what are those things they can do 6 months prior? Like if you can just hide.
So first thing is visiting a dermatologist. Getting your facials, getting your skin treatments, getting your morning routine and night routine sorted.
Once again, this is Ritesh Latta. हम आप लोगों के लिए काफी informative and exciting content लेके आ रहे हैं. We have invited a lot of wedding experts, and we make sure that we keep these videos short. चले, let's go.
Hello and welcome everyone. Today we have Poonam Lalwani with us. She's a makeup artist. She has her salon in Pune, Koregaon Park, one of the posh location in Pune, by the name of Cut Ink. And Poonam, welcome to you.
Thank you, Pritesh. Thank you. Lovely having you. I've worked with Aishal for a lot of weddings, and it's always a pleasure. Today I was really excited to actually come to your office. So
I hope you like the office.
Yes, I love it. Lovely. It's such a beautiful, cozy space in the heart of Kothrood. So yeah, I'm quite happy to be here. It's got a very good vibe.
Okay, so let me also introduce Coco. Hi,
Yes.
Coco.
Hi. Say hi to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Poonam, just wanted to start with a basic question that why makeup industry and when did you start it? How did you start it?
So I initially started as a hairstylist in my salon, but then that got a little bit monotonous. And then I was like, let me venture into makeup because it's so creative. It lets you bring out the creativity in you. And, it's really fulfilling because you meet so many different kind of people, different families, different cultures, that it just feels, really good to be a part of. So ever since I got into the makeup industry, I've loved it. And, being a part of each bride and their events is always, so nice at the end of the, once the entire event is completed, you just feel so like, okay, thank God, everything went off well, so it's very fulfilling.
So when you say that you started with the hair,
Yeah.
So you had a salon also, hair salon, and then you ventured out and took makeup. So now, if I ask you, what do you like more? Do you like hair or you like makeup?
Definitely makeup, because there's so much color. The bride's outfit is so glamorous. There's jewelry. There's so much fun around it. Hair is a little like in the salon, it's like colors, cuts, keratin. So yeah, I'm like stuck in that space. But with, weddings, you go to the venue and there's just so much happening, whether it's good chaos or bad chaos. It's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So how long it's been, you started your makeup? Because I know your salon is 14 years old.
Yeah.
So how?
So I've been into the makeup industry since I think 2014. Yeah. So about 8 to 10 years. Yeah, 8 to 10 years. I started with doing a lot of like party makeup, ciders and everything. And then I ventured finally into brides. So
almost a decade, 10 years.
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah. It has taken that long, to actually set up something and be stable in the industry.
Correct.
Yeah.
So definitely your, earlier client who are your hair client must have helped you in initial days
For makeup,
for makeup, yes?
not necessarily,
Okay.
because they were so used to coming and getting their hair done from the salon that they were like, oh, she's doing makeup now. How do we trust her? It has taken time to kind of build that trust. But I actually got a lot of wedding clients through word of mouth. Also, my salon clientele are in the age group of 35 to 50 who are already married. So I had a challenge of targeting the younger lot, who were to get married. So that was a different ball game altogether. But, having your website, having your Instagram, having everything in place just makes it easier for the client to book you and approach you. So that's what works.
So normally when we talk about weddings,
Yeah.
Now these days trend is, destination wedding.
Yeah.
So do you also do destination wedding where you travel with the
Yes,
bride and-
yeah, we do travel with the bride and groom. There are a lot of, as in, Mahabeshwar, Lonavala have become like the destinations in Maharashtra, even Goa for that matter. But yeah, anywhere in India, we do travel for work, as long as the client is making it comfortable,
Correct.
we do take that effort to go that mile and, be with them for those 3-4 days.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where actually wedding planners matter. Because I've seen the whole destination wedding experience is either bad or good depending on the planner they have. So if they have a good planner, everything is seamless, from the transportation, logistics, timing, events, everything being on schedule. It depends on the planner. So that's where I feel wedding planners are super important, especially for destination weddings. Yeah, so we do all of that.
So you do bride and groom both makeup or only bride?
No, we do it for the bride and we do it for the groom as well. Nowadays, a lot of like grooms, they don't want makeup per se, but they just want to look even. They just want their skin tone to look even. So it's just about, it's just for their photography, like their skin tone should look fresh and they should, grooms have a tendency of sweating a lot. So we just kind of control that.
Right.
But yeah, it's not too much. Yeah. They just want to, they just want some basic things. So yeah, we offer services to grooms as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So when it comes to, bridal makeup, because groom, as you said, groom makeup is very, very subtle, very simple,
Yeah.
just a touch up kind of thing,
Yeah.
So how much time it takes for, doing a bride makeup?
I think a bride, if, she's not, if she's giving you 100% time, I think 2 hours is more than enough to get her ready head to toe. And then 45 minutes for photography.
Okay.
So I think 3 hours before the event is a good timeline to keep because 1 hour for photography, 2 hours for getting ready. And then, you have your 15-20 minutes if in case she has to attend the phone call or she has to go somewhere or if she has to eat her lunch. So 3 hours is more than enough time to keep prior to all your events.
And what about the groom?
Groom, half an hour. Groom is the last. Once he's fully ready, he comes to get his makeup done. And yeah, groom is the last. Yeah, half an hour before the event.
So when if, for example, if you are doing both, if you are doing bride makeup also and a groom makeup also, how do you manage the timeline? Because you finish bride makeup, then you go.
Yeah, so, the time is handled really well because by the time the bride's makeup is done, a lot of her getting ready shots are being handled by the photographer. And that's where we have the free time to get the groom ready.
Okay.
So there is a lot of time in between to, handle such other requests.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, there are a lot of trends which are going like every year or every 2 years, there are different trends for makeup. So how do you keep updated with those trends and how do you, incorporate those trends in your makeup?
So, I think one is every 2 years, there are lots of masterclasses that happen by famous Delhi makeup artists, Bombay celebrity makeup artists. So, getting trained by them, getting trained under them, being in sync with Bollywood, because if any Bollywood wedding happens, that's it. That's what is trending. So all these things matter. And also, keeping up to date with what products are coming out. Every 2 months, something new is out in the market. So buying those, trying out those. But more or less, I think in India, Bollywood is the main source of inspiration. Which was the latest wedding? Which was the latest Bollywood wedding now, I
I
think?
think Siddharth.
Siddharth and Kiara. Yeah. So theirs was the latest. So everybody wanted to wear pastel lehenga. Everybody wanted emerald and diamond jewelry. So that was a big source of inspiration. And it's great, because through Instagram, exposure is so much. Gone are the days where you can fool your bride anymore because they have so much exposure. They can tell what product you're using. They can point out, oh, I want this, I don't want that. So it's become a very, the market's really open and, brides are very well aware of what they want, which is a good thing. A lot of information. So they're very clear. We want this, which is very good.
Correct.
Earlier brides had no clue,
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's a good thing that has changed. Yeah.
So when you say that the jewelry, the attire, fashion, everything is a part of one personality.
Correct.
So how do you go about it? Like when a bride approaches you,
Yeah.
so do you ask her that what kind of jewelry are you wearing, or what kind of outfit are you wearing, or you suggest them you go with this kind of thing with your makeup look?
Yeah.
How is it?
So I don't intrude too much, or I'm not too forceful with my brides on what they should wear or how they should dress up just because I want my bride to
Correct.
look that way.
Correct.
But a lot of brides nowadays will themselves ask, okay, I'm wearing this. Can you suggest? Can you recommend? And that is that kind of opens up the conversation to, yes, you should go here. You can go to this place in city to, source your jewelry. I show them some Instagram pictures that if your, lehenga is this color, this is the kind of jewelry you can wear. So yeah, definitely most of the brides nowadays are very open to collaborating and, open to suggestions that, how to style. So that is also one thing that I think a lot of makeup artists offer. We offer styling complimentary. We tell our brides that, once your outfit and everything is sorted, if you have any problem with your jewelry or mangtika, anything, just let us know, we'll help you. So I've had so many brides who will, do video calls, when they're at the jewelry shop saying, does this look nice? Does this look nice? And I'm like, yes, perfect. So then they buy it.
So how is the process? So a bride should first, pick up their attire, jewelry, and then, come with the makeup thing, or should they first decide their look and then go for this?
So I think how it works is like, say if you have a wedding planned in December, and now is the time to actually find your makeup artist.
Now is, you mean to say, June?
June is the time. So June is the time you search for a makeup artist, kind of, make a list of 3-4 makeup artists whose work you really like, resonate with, keep them on hold, and then just kind of get in touch with them, get their quotation. At the same time, you're doing your outfits, your jewelry. And I would say, you can book with whichever makeup artist you want, but your trial and your final look will happen 2 months prior to the wedding when your outfit, jewelry, and everything is ready.
Okay.
Yeah. I think then that is when the trial makes more sense. Because like say when I'm doing a trial in the salon, I'll tell my bride, please bring your blouse. Please bring your mangtika. Please bring your jewelry or earrings. And then when I do the trial, they wear their blouse and then they get the whole feel.
Yes.
But if suppose a bride walks in for a trial in a jeans and t-shirt, and then I just do her makeup, she'll be like, this is too much. This is not look. But then I'm like, you are not even in that attire. So I feel it's a little tricky. You need to, decide, or maybe you can do 2 trials. One, just a basic trial where you understand the makeup artist's work ethic, right? How she's doing your base. Is she using the right products? Is she using good products? Once that basic trial is done, then again 2 months before the wedding, you'll sit together and make a lookbook of all the looks. Sangeet, we're doing this. Wedding, we're doing this. Reception, we're doing this. So everything is planned and there's no scope for surprises.
Sure.
on the day of the event.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this happens when the bride is in the city. Okay. When when the bride is also in the city and the makeup artist is also in the city. What if the bride is outstation? What if the bride is abroad? No, she's just coming
Yeah. A week before the wedding.
2 weeks
Yeah.
before the wedding. That how do you?
So, in fact, Ritesh, with Aishal, all my brides have been from out of India. So, and how it's worked is video calls. You schedule video calls with your makeup artist. The makeup artist has to give you that time. Say half an hour every 2 weeks, just to follow up on what's the update, what have you shopped, what have you got. So I think video calls is a way of, having that comfort level and forming a bond with your makeup artist, deciding looks. So, one of your bride, Rutuja, which was through Aishal, we had done, I think, 7-8 Zoom calls before the actual wedding, because she was, she had some 6 events and she wanted every event to look different. So as a makeup artist, it is my duty and responsibility to give her that time.
Correct.
I can't just say, okay, we'll figure it out on the wedding day. No. So that's how they are comfortable. So I think accessibility to a makeup artist is very important. If they're not going to reply for 4-5 days, then that's like a setback. You don't want to deal with that kind of a person who's just not so accessible.
How do a bride select the right makeup artist for her?
So I think Instagram is now a big source of, it's no more Google. It's no more wedding websites. Everybody hops onto Instagram to choose a makeup artist or to find a makeup artist. So first thing is you need to resonate with the kind of work the makeup artist is doing. Are her aesthetics matching to what you would like on yourself? That's number one. Also, it is so important to kind of distinguish whether a makeup artist is using filters, applying filters to their work, or they're, putting real-time brides, because nowadays filters can be applied to videos as well. So it's very easy to have something on Instagram and look completely different in reality. So I think these 2-3 things are important. And then the next step is getting in touch with them, having a conversation with them, and, you instantly get a vibe. You instantly feel comfortable. And then that's your pointer right there, that yes, she's the one I want to work with. Mostly it's worked with me like that. They inquire on Instagram, I send them my quotation, then we get on a call, and then they're comfortable to book.
So one thing here as a planner we add, I don't know whether it is right or wrong. You can correct us if we are wrong. So what you are saying, absolutely the same process we also follow, but we add one more thing. We tell our brides to also do a trial.
Correct.
Because what happens is, it's not about only whether the makeup artist is good or bad, but whether it is of your style, and what kind of product are they using, and are these products allergic to you?
Correct. So very important point. So sometimes a lot of brides, or a lot of my brides, or a lot of my clients have great skin, and they're okay to, they're like, we use similar products. We have similar products in our personal vanity. So these products are fine. But yes, there are some brides who have, sensitive skin, acne prone skin. So for these kind of brides, definitely a skin trial is important, because you want to wear that makeup for a day and see the next day did you get any allergy, all of that. So definitely you have a point there. Anybody with sensitive skin, allergic skin, must get a trial beforehand, before booking the...
So can I say the process to our viewers?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a process to select a right makeup artist for you. Find out them on Instagram. Check who is resonating your style of work. Then check if their work is real work or they are putting some filters on it. Get connected with them. Speak to them in person or on Zoom. Then get the quotation and finally do the trial. After all these, you will understand whether this particular makeup artist is your type or not, or if you can check some other makeup artist also. And you said, even when we were talking about the bride Rutuja, I think you said about, so she had 6 events, she wanted to have a different, different events. So this might be very challenging for you because every bride, at least they have 4 events.
Yeah.
And, or 4 to 6 events, normal course of number of events. So how do you make sure that, you give them a different look in each and every function?
So that's again where Instagram comes into play, because, people are, browsing through multiple looks, and brides themselves come and tell me, okay, for, the mehndi, we want this. For the carnival, we want this. For pool party, we want this. For Sangeet, we want this, and even if they have no idea, we send them reference pictures, based on their outfit. So that's why their outfit and jewelry is very important to decode their look they want. So reference pictures are great, and Instagram is like it has a source of endless reference pictures. So that helps, it makes our job easier, and it makes the bride's job easy, and she knows exactly what she's expecting.
Correct.
Yeah. So sometimes if, a bride wants to, is confused about a hairstyle, I'll just be like, okay, go on Instagram, hashtag hairstyle, bridal hairstyles, and just see whatever comes and send me a screenshot.
Wow.
Yeah. If you like that, I'll do that for you.
It's so easy now.
It's so easy. Yeah. And I tell them that you don't have to stick to my Instagram page. Just send me anybody's, hairstyle you like. So basically it helps me understand their preference, which is why for every bride sending reference pictures is very important, because it helps the makeup artist understand what are they looking for, what kind of work do they want. If if like a bride will send you a picture with like red lipstick and, heavy eyeliner, you'll understand, okay, she is comfortable with that. She is okay with that. So I always tell my brides, reference pictures work great. Whenever you're free, keep sending me reference pictures. Yeah.
Poonam, if I ask you, you are not from Instagram age, like you started much earlier than Instagram started.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe becoming famous.
Yeah.
So what you used to do before Instagram?
So before that, actually, there were some wedding websites that had started really long back. I don't want to take their names now because it's become different. But 15 years back or 10 years back, there were certain wedding websites that had come that were helping brides with planning their whole wedding. So you can find a makeup artist vendor, you can find a wedding planner, you can find a choreographer, and at that time there were very few makeup artists, right? So amongst the list of makeup artists, we were probably just 8 to 10. So it was very easy for a bride to select from 8 to 10. Now on wedding websites, there are some 50 makeup artists listed,
okay,
right? So how do you stand out? And, it's a whole algorithm game,
okay,
where if you're feeding them a lot of money, they'll put you on top. Otherwise, you're on the second, third page. So it's just become a nasty game right now. So that's why, it's better to invest that money in your own website and your own Instagram. But yeah, that is how I got my initial business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So what is the trend now for, if I have to ask you, for bride, what's the trend, or maybe what would be the trend for this year, November, December, January weddings?
So everybody is still pretty much, stuck to the no makeup look. Every bride wants the makeup to look absolutely subtle. They want to look like themselves. They don't want to look like a different person. And yeah, so that's the first thing, a makeup artist will say, that we want to look like ourselves. We want the base to be really subtle. It should not look too heavy. So I think that is what is trending. And that is actually the most difficult to achieve. A lot of brides think that, I just want a subtle makeup and a no makeup look. And, why are you charging me so much? But I'm like, no, to achieve that, there's a lot of effort that goes into it. It's still makeup. It's still 2 hours of makeup, but it just looks really subtle. So yeah, I think that is trending nowadays. People want it really simple and very elegant. They don't want to go all out.
Okay. And when I ask you, when you said that no makeup also has similar kind of
Yeah.
time and
Yeah.
it takes a little extra effort to
Yeah.
get you that
Yeah.
look. So the charges also varies on different kind of makeups or different kind of looks or how it is.
No, so generally, a lot of makeup artists offer HD makeup and airbrush makeup.
Okay.
So they're just those two kind of differences. And
Okay, wait. Can you just explain what is HD makeup and airbrush makeup for our viewers?
so generally, HD means high definition.
Okay.
So nowadays you get HD foundations. So, when a bride is choosing between HD makeup and airbrush makeup, it is just the base that is different.
Oh.
The eyes can be what they want, the lips can be what they want, but it is the base that is different. Which is why every makeup artist will probably have like a 3,000-4,000 rupees difference between an HD quotation and an airbrush quotation.
Which one is expensive?
Airbrush.
Airbrush is more.
Yeah. Because we use a machine to kind of spray the foundation. So it is super even, super natural. And that machine and the foundations that we use in that machine is super expensive. That is why airbrush is more expensive. With HD, you have a lot of brands like Armani, Armani, Chanel, they're coming out with HD foundations. So basically we're using those products. Right? In airbrush, we're using the airbrush brand. Airbrush has a complete separate brand of its own called Tem2. So we're using their foundations, their products, and it is on the higher side. The machine itself costs over 50,000. So, and it is that machine that gives the look.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think brides can choose airbrush for their wedding, for their reception, for their sangeet. But for smaller events like carnival, pool party, mainly HD works great.
Okay.
Yeah. They just need airbrush for the main events. Yeah. They don't need airbrush for everything. Also, another difference between HD and airbrush is the longevity of the event.
Okay.
Yeah, like you must have also seen with your experience that, the bride has to get ready by 4 o'clock in the evening. 4 to 5, her photography happens. And then she has to be in that makeup and attire till 12 at night. So that's literally 8 hours of being in makeup.
Correct.
So that's when we suggest airbrush.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the airbrush lasts for 8 hours?
8 hours, yes. She will not require a touch-up. Even if I leave, she's busy with her events and all, and if I'm not required to stay back, she will not have to do any touch-up. That's the benefit of airbrush.
And
Thank you very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. अगर आपको लगता है कि ये content किसी के लिए important है, please share with them. And in case if you want us to cover a specific topic or content, please comment below. Thank you.